Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to tonight's Link to the Past Randomizer Daily Race. Tonight, we've got an Ambrosia race, which we'll explain in a minute for those who are new to this. But it's going to be an interesting one. Professor Renderer and Jagger G are two racers here tonight, featured on stream. My name is The Shade, and joining me is my co-commentator, Mind of Me. How we doing?
I am doing fantastic. It is a great night for Rando. Ambrosia is one of my favorite modes that was developed by a runner. And they were like, hey, you know what? Let's try this new thing. And it is caught on like a house of fire.
Indeed. To give a quick explanation, basically what we're looking at here is standard mode with an Uncle Assured sword, and the Uncle will also give you a hint to where the boots are. And it's a guarantee that all the bosses will have a non-dungeon item. So they don't have to worry about that little problem. They know they don't have to go all the way to the boss to fighting, especially in pendant dungeons, because nobody likes that.
Exactly. You don't have to worry about, oh, you know, I miscounted my items. What's going on? You know, is Cold Stare going to have a key? And in other dungeons, when in like Skull Woods, you know, you find your one item, you know that second item's on Mothula. You can just stop opening chests.
Exactly. All right. Well, we are getting the signal, ladies and gentlemen. So, people of Hyrule, I have one question for you this time. Are you ready for some random?
Absolutely. Just waiting for that stream delay to come through. Should be any second now. We'll see our runners underway, and the Uncle will give us that lovely hint as where our Go Fast boots are.
Death Mountain. So one of the boots are hiding somewhere in Death Mountain. That gives a lot of different options there. We got a big 20 to start things off here. Of course, our custom characters here. We've got Cadence from Cadence Hyrule there. Ooh, early map check. Blue pendant and red pendant in the light world. That is not a good sign. Crystal at Eastern. But as I was saying, Cadence from Crypt of the Necrodancer and Cadence of Hyrule there for Professor Renderer. Zero Suit Samus for Jagger G. Let's get this race going.
Important thing about all these assured swords is even though you've got the sword in your inventory, you cannot swing it until you talk to our Uncle, who gives us a big 20 today.
Indeed.
A little bit of pocket change and allowance for Link.
Get that early money there, early Kakariko run. Gotta love the color swap there for Jagger G. I guess that's a new thing they've added, that you can just have custom colors or something, or just something.
Yeah, you can toggle on palette swap for any seed and not just Randomizer seeds now. Some of the palettes are quite nice. Some of them are a little bit eye-searing, but here we go. Runners are going to be making their way through Hyrule Castle, checking the prize packs of the enemies, looking for those almighty bombs.
You want to at least get at minimum one bomb going through the dungeon, because you want to get the back of escape on the way out, especially since we know the boots won't be available until afterwards. So the sooner they can get a bomb, the better. They can get a triple bomb on the way. That'd be fantastic, but looks like this seed's going to play a little hardball here so far. Hopefully we'll get lucky on the way.
Unfortunately, it looks like that the guard prize pack has small hearts in it, which does not correspond to a prize pack that has bombs in it.
So already these guys are off to a pretty bad start. They're pretty much begging that one of the chests will hold the infamous blueberry pack, because that's pretty much all they've got going for them at this point.
The guards share a prize pool with the rats. However, the ropes would have a separate prize pack.
Oh, so there's still some hope. And they already found the small key, which they had to get because you have to be able to get through the dungeon. So we were bound to find that eventually. But let's see what else we can find along the way. We've also found the map, so that's
all the dungeon items here.
Actually, I was mistaken. That was the key that was dropped from the guard. They still need to find the key in the chest, which I believe they only have 2 possible places for that to be. The three items in the back now are guaranteed to be items, making it all the more hopeful they find those bombs. Oh, that was not what they wanted to see. That was in fact the sewer key. So they are hoping to find the bombs on the way up. Again, at this point, all they have are the ropes, aka the snakes, and of course, the last chest in the Dark Cross. And if they don't find a bomb by then, they are going to have to wait until they get the power glove to come back and check those chests. So let's see if we can get lucky along the way.
And unlike regular standard, where you might have the hope that, oh, maybe the boots will be in that Dark Cross chest, no such luck. We know that those boots are going to be on the mountain thanks to Link's uncle.
Now, both of our runners have rescued the princess and are heading back up to the castle, up to the sewers and the secret entrance in the throne room. Again, this is a standard mode C. Now, the one good thing is that with standard mode, even though they do not have the lamp, they will have the lamp light on only for the sewers. Once they leave, they will have to find the lamp to get any further light. But for the escape sewers, they will be allowed to get the lamp here because otherwise they'd be kind of soft locked logically.
Yep, and even if there is the case that the access to both of our gloves is locked in those back 3 chests, and they don't find bombs along the way, they'd have to go through these dark sewers again, there would still be a light cone, so it's not just Zelda's headlamp.
Contrary to what your popular belief there. It looks like Jagger G is trying to check the rats. He's looking for the key. One of these rats has a key.
No, those aren't the key rights. We're too early.
They're looking for the bomb.
Yeah, they're checking the prize pack. Looks like there was rupees. I think one of the prize packs with rupees also has bombs in it.
So there's a sliver of hope there, but it is not looking good. And lucky break!
Hallelujah, your prayers are answered. Got a bomb for the back and 2 extra to make your way through Kakariko.
That's what we're looking for there. We were looking for those blueberries. I said that was their last hope at this point. It looks like their hope has finally paid off. Now here, in this room that Jagger G's in, you kill that rat on the left, and they have the key. If you can get them quick enough, you can usually isolate them like you saw there, so that makes it a very quick run there for both of our runners. And now they've reached the back room. Blow up this wall. Let's see what we got. Can we find something big back here to start this run off? We haven't found much yet. Let's see what we got back here. Ooh, potion. That puts Sick Kid in place. Some more bombs. So that's not too bad. It's nothing big, but it opens up at least one more possibility. Plus, it means we'll have enough bombs for Kakariko starting out. So that's not too bad of a finish there for the escape.
No, that's a pretty good Kakariko starter pack. It's always nice to go into Kakariko with a bottle to check Sick Kid. And again, nobody's going to be complaining about extra bombs at this point, and you're always looking for that money for the bottle vendor.
Exactly. While they don't have enough for that yet, they're more than likely going to get enough on the way. Let's see what our last chest holds there. Oh, B-Torp. That's the second bottle there, so we're doubled up on bottles here tonight. And we got a little sink coming out of the sanctuary.
See if both runners go for the Lost Woods route or if they opt to check Aghanim along the way. The Lumberjack Ledge, rather.
Looks like both runners are heading up. So it looks like we will be getting double Lumberjack checks here from our runners, which, not a bad call, honestly. Like, this is a standard mean. We're going to get a tree pull here. Tier 3 tree pull only hearts, not what they were hoping for. One good thing about the pallet swap is it makes it a lot easier to find the hoarder crab. Kind of stands out there. See what our Lumberjack holds. Just some love. Don't think we'll be seeing that tonight.
Nope, no reason to kill Aghanim for that. And apologies for my cat yelling in the background.
Yeah, I've got a cat at home too. I know how it is. All right, so next stop is the forest. Of course, the Lost Woods. They're going to be checking the mushroom spot first. Nothing there. Now we got the Forest Thieves hideout here. Pretty standard opening run here. Ooh, some literacy. That might actually tempt them. This early on, getting the Book of Medora, could we possibly see an early pedestal check? I've seen it before.
You know what? This is a interesting time, and I think we might be going for it. Oh no!
Not from Jagger G. He's going down. Gets another bomb. He's going back in there, but let's see. Oh, wait a minute. Keep your eyes on Professor Renderer. We're going to get an early pedestal check here, ladies and gentlemen. Get the hype in chat. Could we get a pedestal seed?
Professor Render, Major Com, he knows what Twitch chat wants. He wants that. We all want that early ped check.
And what's on the pedestal? Oh. Oh, the troll! The troll from the froth! Oh, that is evil. And it's just a little bit of love. As we also find the cape in the back and blindside. Wow, what a troll.
That was amazing. Props to Professor Render for pulling that out. And we get the 10-pack of bombs from the back of Blindside.
Oh, this is going to be a fun scene, ladies and gentlemen. So Jagger G finishing up over in Blind's Hut, not finding him much of value there, though. It does find the cape. That might come into play later, depending on what's on the bumper ledge. And, of course, a couple other places as well. But with that, he's going to head into the well, where we got several more items to find. This is usually the early hotbed. We've got tons of potential items in here in Kakariko. If you're going to find something big, this is usually where you're going to find it. We got Bombos.
Bombos is so nice to find, especially with an early sword. It's a nice area of effect spell.
Oh, and we got a shield as well. Something they really don't want. I know most runners don't prefer getting the shield.
No, there's always that risk that you're going to end up with the so-called lag shield of the mirror shield, but we get some nice armor upgrade from the bottle vendor.
Yep, that's not a bad waste of $100 right there. Is Jagger G now heading into the chicken shack? No chicken clip from him tonight. See, Professor Render can do that. Oh, there's the lamp. That's nice to find early on, meaning dark rooms will not be an issue. We'll have something to light torches later.
You know what else that means?
Uh-oh.
We got a sword, a lamp, and a cape.
Oh, you're right. Oh, that is not something they want to see. Bombs from the sick kid. Oh, yeah. We still don't know where those gloves are, nor the hammer or the moon pearl. Could we have an Aghanim seed instead here? Oh, there's Master Sword. That is making it work.
That's looking pretty good, spicy indeed. But we do have a lot of extra Sphere 1 locations. There's no reason that our traditional Dark World access can't be hiding in there. But we'll take a look at what the library holds for us today.
Indeed. Oh, another sword. Oh, well, we might actually come back for that now that we know the boots are over in Death Mountain. That might be a spot we come back to later. As Jagger G gonna at least see what's over at the race game if it's gonna be worth going back for. Definitely not. I think he made the right call on that.
Render looked like he was going to go for the chicken clip. No such luck today. Gets his lamp and completes his egg hair pack. And Jagger G is going to continue the traditional route of going South Shore. You'll often see runners do this, but it is just as common for runners to head over to Eastern Palace. You get the green pendant info from Sahashala, 3 items in his closet, as well as at most one, or at least one, and at most 3 from Eastern Palace itself.
Absolutely. Now, Jagger G, the one divergence here is Jagger G is actually making the run into me Moldorm Cave first and holding off on the dam. That could be interesting. We'll see if that becomes an issue later. We're going to check out the back of the mini Moldorm Cave. Not finding much here so far. A little bit of money, but not much. Oh, there's our power glove now. That's something he wants to see early on. We got our power glove. So all he needs to do is find a hammer, the moon pearl, the moon pearl and either a hammer or another glove, and Aghanim will look a lot less enticing.
Yeah, the route to doing Mini Moldorm first is something that another South Shore option that runners go for. In that case, they're going to combo the swamp check, the dam checks, and Agina, so it doesn't feel like you're just isolating Agina with just one check.
That is not a bad call. The idea is efficiency, as much as speed. You want to check these locations as quickly as possible, and in doing that, efficiency is key. You want to make sure you waste as little time as you need to. As Jagger G heading over to the Ice Rod Cave. Anyone up for some vanilla ice cream?
That is indeed the vanilla location for the Ice Rod, and Ice Rod being that troll item that can be almost anywhere except for one place. Well, we'll see if we need that Ice Rod later.
Considering we've got 2 pendants in the light world, there's a very high probability we're going to need that Ice Rod, because it is very high certainty that Turtle Rock is going to be a crystal dungeon, so they're probably going to have to need that Ice Rod at some point. So getting that out of the way early, very, very fortunate. Now, there is still a very slim chance that the green pendant is still on Turtle Rock, but that only makes it worse because, well, green pendant is a potential item location. That means that might also be a required item. That could be trouble.
Yagerki making an interesting thing. I thought he was going to go and combo the dam with Agina, but instead he's just going straight to Agina and skip the dam entirely. Luckily, Professor Render showed us that there wasn't much of value there. There was a heart container and 10 arrows in the flooded area.
Absolutely not much there. Agina's Cave also not paying out much here. We're getting a lot of arrows early on, which is kind of a waste because, well, arrows are pretty plentiful. And honestly, once they get a bow, I believe they get a full complement anyway. So any arrows they get now are kind of wasted.
Yeah, we are running down on checks. The glove that we get in here in Mini Moldorgan Cave does open up the mountain. 2 checks, 2 items and 1 check that we can get, but Jagger G is going into desert. And depending if this is boots locked, this could be full clearable.
Absolutely. If there is nothing of value on the torch, then yes, he has the power glove. He's got the lamp for to light the torches. This would be a full clear. So we'll see. Honestly, I think this is a pretty decent gamble here. It's a very small gamble, given that the only thing he has to worry about is that boots lock torch. So we'll see if that comes back to haunt him or not, but it's going to take a minute, obviously. He's going to check this first chest here. He's hoping for keys, and he's hoping that the item on the torch is nothing. He wants either the compass or the map on that torch. Either that or the item to be of no value or be trash. If it's any of those 3 things, he's safe. If it's anything else, he's screwed.
Yep, getting the small key is nice. Hopefully, even if the big key is on the torch, there was a chance that we could find both items over here, but no such luck with the map in that chest. We'll have to see what the vanilla big key chest holds for us.
Well, vanilla, that's for sure. More vanilla.
All right, so this dungeon is beatable, but there is a chance that one of our items is on the torch, and it could be something that we want. Regardless, that's great information to have.
Absolutely, getting that early. Now, Professor Render, he's on his way over to Sir Hassela's closet. Another pretty good item spot. We see a lot of things. Plus, you can get the hint as to where the green pen is located. Oh, Moon Pearl on the torch. You could not have asked for a worse thing.
So with that, we do know that the second item will be on Lanmolas, since this is an Ambrosia seed. Back at Sahashila's closet, giving us another bottle, 300 rupees, and a heart container.
Now, the one thing I'm surprised that Professor Render did not talk to Sahasila himself. He does give a hint as to where the green pendant is located at. And that could be an essential bit of information, considering once we learn that, we would know where the other crystals are. So I'm wondering why he did skip that.
Well, someone in chat bringing up that boots must be on the old man or inside Spectacle Rock. It does seem likely at this point, since we know that this Moon Pearl is early and boots locked, and we know the boots are on Death Mountain. But it's just as likely that, the hook shot or the mirror is in Eastern, and our boots are over on the east side.
Indeed. Now, Professor Render, he's got the lamp and power glove as well. He's going to take the Death Mountain route. which, given how we know that the Moon Pearl is on that torch in Desert Palace, might actually be the smarter move, because he'll be able to go through, grab that Moon Pearl on the way, and finish up. So this might actually save him a little bit of time in the long.
Yeah, I don't mind this at all. It depends on what other items he finds up here, because it could easily, if he finds something really nice up here, like for instance that hook shot as well as the boots, it could take him a while to go back to desert.
That is very well. There's the boots. Oh, as the chat said, boots on the old man.
All right, so we'll get a quick climb up Death Mountain over to Spectacle Rock. We'll see one item and potentially grab another, while Jagger G is on his way to Landmolus. A little better than vanilla Landmolus with the Map Master.
Oh, we got Flute on Spectacle Rock. That might come into play later. Not much inside the cave, so Mirror is going to likely be required, because, again, there's only one pendant dungeon left in play, and if it's not Misery Mire, then that Flute will be essential.
Well, we would then need a Mirror regardless, because even if the other pendant is Misery Mire, then we know that Swamp isn't the pendant, and we need the Mirror for that.
That's very true. But that would also, all I'm saying is that it's Mirror required, C guaranteed, but is it Flute required? That we don't know. And now Professor Renderer is going to take on Desert Palace as Jagger G finishes up. Didn't get anything good off Landmolus, unfortunately, and he only gets the blue pendant for it. And since we know the pedestal's not required, well, that's going to be an issue. That's a pendant he doesn't really want.
The other interesting thing now with that information that the Flute is on top of Spec Rock and the Moon Pearl is on the Desert Torch, it really reinforces that maybe Aga is a really good play, because we are still missing that other glove and the hammer. Now, granted, that could be in Eastern Palace or it could be on Zora. But maybe, you know what, with the Moon Pearl in hand and the ability to defeat Aga, it might not hurt that too much to go up the tower, defeat Aga, and explore as much of the Dark World as you can.
It just depends. Once you get through Eastern Palace, that's when you start deciding, okay, what do I got left?
Eastern being a crystal does disincentivize the runners. People hate to go and dip early Eastern without the bow, and we are not going to get that green pendant check from Jagger G either.
And nobody wants to touch it. That is funny.
But he is going to go and make his way into Eastern itself. We'll see what items are there. With the lamp, we'll be able to get at least 2 items, and potentially 3, depending on how nice it is. But there could be one left on the Armos Knights. Oh, there has to be one left on the Armos Knights. This is Ambrosia.
Yep, there's an Ambrosia seed. That's kind of a given at this point.
Render taking no time at all to go and get that Moon Pearl off the ledge. It's going to be going and grabbing the big key. But we'll see what that first chest in the Eastern holds for us.
Not much there, unfortunately. Yeah, so unfortunately, unless Jagger G just happens to find the bow here in Eastern Palace, he will not be able to full clear this dungeon. So that's what he's probably hoping for, because he knows there's an item there waiting for him. He just doesn't know what it is.
It's really interesting that, you think it's such a small change. It's like, oh, okay, dungeon items will have the boss, but it can change up so much of the logic when you're routing your seeds.
There's our first item there. Not much yet. We've got one more potential item left to find, and it has to be the bow or else he's out. And at this point, there's not many locations left. Checking my map right now. Like, I've got my own tracker up. I always do this with every race. There is only 1, maybe 2 locations left to check. Because we can check Zora. We'll have to get some rupees for that, but we can't check Zora. And there's Bonk Rocks, the Bonk Cave over there by Sanctuary. That is it in terms of items in logic. Now, they could also fake Flipper to check Hobo, and since Professor Render would now has the Moon Pearl, he could also do the water walking trick to check Waterfall Fairy. But those are out of logic. So odds are good they're probably not going to be what he's looking for either.
Nope. I would say that the density play would be go and defeat Aga. You'll have access to at least 2 items. You'll get the first item in pod at least, and you'll get Catfish. But that's, likely you'll be able to get 2 up here. And Pyramid Ledge. So that's 3 items for sure. And you'll be able to get maybe a few more items in pod out of logic if you bottle glitch.
Yeah, this is a very linear seed from what I can tell at this point, even with the items we've got so far. All right, let's see. Last check here. There's the big key. So we got one more item check left. As Professor Render now taking on Land Molus. The Aga seed is looking really possible right now. It's going to literally come down to Jagger G. He's got to go back up to Death Mountain.
Doing a quick check just to see if hints are on. They are not, as is standard in most of our races.
And there's the second item, Piece of Heart. Not much there. And that's going to be it for Eastern Palace. So at this point, it's looking like unless there's something, unless there's a glove or hammer in the Bonk Rock Cave, that's it. It is Agaton.
Or Zora.
Or Zora, yeah. And unfortunately, neither runners have enough rupees for Zora yet. So we might have to do some rupee grinding if they're feeling desperate.
With a glove, that's not too bad. There's 2 good caves that either have 50 or 20 rupees, but Render is going to go and check Bonk Rocks first. When he was finishing up Desert, he just about saved and quit before grabbing the pendant, and then just thought, you know what, why not? I'll just grab the pendant. He knows that Pet is dead, but take the couple of seconds and grab it. Why not?
It's not that big of a waste of time, honestly. All right, let's see what we got in Bonk Cave. Nope, bombs. Not what he was hoping for.
All right, let's see what Professor Render does. Is he going to go and check the 2 items he can in Eastern? Does he do fake flipper checks, or does he go to Aga?
He might want to also stop over at the library because we know there's something waiting for him over there. But no, looks like he's going for it.
I think because Renderer saw that flute on Spectacle Rock, and he knows that he's going to need to get the mirror at some point in this seed, he's hoping to go and grab that sword when he goes and activates his flute.
Makes sense. I don't see the problem with that. But nonetheless, he is making the play. What is likely the smart play here, he is going to Aghanim now that he's got that Master Sword.
And yes, we know that there is a sword upgrade on the library, which will be Temperate Sword for both of our runners, unless they find a sword somewhere else, at which point it will be better, and they probably won't bother for it.
Nope, not at this point. They want, for most runners, Temperate Sword is really all they need. So we'll see how that plays off. Of course, both of the chests in the Aga Tower will only be keys. That is how this dungeon works. Unless you are playing Key Sanity, that's what you're going to find up here. So let's see what they find along the way. Meanwhile, Jagger G heading back over to Desert because he needs to grab that Moon Pearl. You need at least that if you're going to go into the Dark World. And since we know it's here, you want to grab that first. Because if you go into the Dark World without the Moon Pearl, you will get bunnied. And there's only a couple locations that you can check that way, and none of them are accessible right now. And it is true, as chat points out, that, yeah, you could technically get through Aga Tower a little bit faster with the Tempered Sword, but honestly, the enemies here aren't that strong. Master Sword will do just fine here. This is not something you need to go out of your way for Tempered. Especially considering the fact that with Aga, it doesn't matter what sword you have, you're going to just be throwing energy balls back at him. So why bother upgrading your sword when you can't even use it on Aga himself? The only enemy in here that's worth having a stronger sword.
Yeah, and even with boots, it's a long trek over to the library to grab that Tempered. It's much better to combo it when, you're doing, you're either taking that Dark World portal or you're activating your flute or something else in that area.
There's that efficiency we were talking about earlier. Trying to combo checks together so that you can knock multiple out at a time, especially when you know one of them is not going to be that essential. So you're going to wait until you have an essential check over there before you need to consider that non-essential check.
Oh, Render using their blue goo to stay alive in the tower. That's not a bad play. Reclimbing this tower is an awful time sink, especially when you're so close to the top. Potions are there to keep you healthy.
Now, it looks like Jagger might be going for fake flippering here. He might be making the Zora play. First, he's going to go over here probably to get the over there Ice Rod Cave, because that is one of the money grind spots that we were talking about earlier. Nope, he's going straight for fake flipper.
Yep. And
so we got two very different options.
And he did set up a water walk in Mini Moldorm Cave, so that when he sets up the fake flipper out of the hobo area, he'll be able to run right across the water.
All right, Chad, get your guesses. How many blue balls we got tonight?
Can be anywhere from 0 to 15. Aghanim always has the same pattern. First ball will be a reflectable energy ball. Attacks 2 through 4 have a 50-50 chance of being a reflectable energy ball. That will damage.
Wait a minute. Hold that thought. Jagger G just found the Titan's bits from the hobo.
That is an incredible sequence break.
Ho, 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 ho.
There is still a small chance that he'll have to do Aghanim if the hammer is locked in Pyramid Fairy or in West Dark World and he doesn't know how to bypass or do a fake flipper over there. But that's huge.
Absolutely. That is a big play there. That's going to get him that. Ooh, when he gets half magic in the Waterfall Fairy Cave, that's not too bad either. Oh, but that is still big play there for Jagger G. To the point where we now no longer remember what the count is for blue balls. Hopefully the chat has been keeping track.
There have been a lot of blue balls, unfortunately. I think we're on cycle 3 right now.
Jagger, why are you checking Zora? You don't have enough money.
Oops.
He forgot he didn't have enough rupees. Down goes Haga 1 for Professor Renderer.
Oh no, and the stun prize is only small magic. It's hard to tell what's in the Zora pool because they stun as soon as you hit them.
And right off the bat, we've got Red Meringue there on the Pyramid Ledge for Professor Renderer. Thankfully, again, he's still got a couple more item checks to make, so this won't be too bad yet. Is he going to go up to Catfish, or he's going down. He's going to Pop.
This is the more item-dense play. Again, if Pod is bow locked, there's only one in logic check. But he's got bottles. I don't think he's got any goo in them, though. I think he used up his one potion in Agate Tower. So if he wants to potion...
Yeah, the other two were bees, I believe.
Yeah, so he would have to Mimic Clip if he wants to bypass the bow requirement. And it looks like Jagger G is going to go and potentially set up a Houlihan. Oh, no, going to check King's Tomb first.
King's Tomb. He found that Titan's bits earlier, so he's going to check King's Tomb. That does open up quite a bit there for him. And, there's shield number 2. Now he's got the red shield.
Red shield, significantly more useful than the blue shield, since it will reflect fireballs, including the ones from Blind. But then you're one step closer to the lag shield.
Lag shield can have its uses in places like Turtle Rock, but more often than not, you don't want it because it does produce a little bit of lag. There's the map there for Professor Render, so he is going to have to use Mimic Clip at this point. But Jagger G is going to be the one to keep an eye on right now because he's the one who's got more access. So he's going to go. He's got Village of Outcasts available to him as well as Skull Woods. So he's got a lot more checks available to him. Let's see what he finds from breaking the logic.
Early Skull Woods is always a great play, and we see that our third pendant is the green one in Thieves Town, and it looked like we had vanilla 5/6 crystals in Ice Palace and Misery Mire. And I would actually disagree with the comment in chat that Skullwood sucks in Ambrosia. It's actually really nice because you know that one item is on Mothula. So as soon as you find that first item and you don't have the fire rod, you can just leave. You're done.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's a matter of looking at things from a different perspective, my friends.
Professor Render did have a goo, but unfortunately he mistimed the clip and has to make his way out. Unfortunately, going this way, it's not common. People don't know which block to push, but he is going to be exiting out of Palace of Darkness.
Jagger G getting a key from the pinball room. Didn't actually need it. I think he already had a key, but yeah, better safe than sorry. There's the other key.
Oh no.
Still hasn't found the other item. Yeah, still hasn't found the item yet.
We don't have the big key, Jagger. You probably don't want to bomb jump.
What are you doing? This is twice now. I was gonna like, why are you trying to bomb jump? You don't have the big key to check the chest.
But I guess the point that maybe the member in chat was talking about, that both items could just be in the back. And you're checking all these chests for nothing.
And it's already close to that point. Like, he still hasn't found any item yet. So unless it's in this chest here, then yeah, chat's on the money. This will be a complete waste of time.
All right, Professor Render going up to Catfish. Catfish and Zora himself are our only two in logic checks left.
Yeah, so more than likely Catfish has something. If not, that means we're going to have to money grind to save up for Zora, because Zora will have something there. There's the big key for Jagger G. Not what he wanted to find. That means both items are located in the back of Skull Woods. Talk about worst case scenario.
No, there could be an item in the big chest still.
That's fair. That's fair. Though, why is he going towards the back end? He can't do anything back there.
I'm not sure. I think he's just grabbing the key out of habit. No,
I hope so.
I think he thinks that might have forgot that he doesn't have the fire rod, unfortunately. All right, Catfish, what have you got for us?
Flippers! Well, that puts the Titans bits back in logic.
Yep. And if that's what, is our logical access, then that means that AGA was absolutely not required. Well, it's still logically required, because...
Yes, you had to go to AGA to... Yeah, the logic basically was saying you had to go through AGA to get to the Dark World, go to Catfish to get the Flippers, then you can go to Hobo to get the Titans mints. That was the logic, what the logic was trying to tell us here.
Right, because there is no way to reach Catfish without the Flippers and the access.
All right, and nope, now it's truly worst case scenario. Both items are located in the back end of Skull Woods.
All right, we'll see if... Go ahead.
Because Professor Renner going to check in. We finally see what's on the float on Wikai Island. Not much there either. But now he's going to go to Hobo, and we know he's going to be very rewarded for that. Nothing on Bumper Ledge, so that's out.
We'll see if Professor Render decides to go and farm up for Zora as well. Easiest place to go to would be to swim over to the Ice Rod Cave area.
Absolutely. All right, meanwhile, Jagger G working his way through Village of Outcast, starting out at the C-shaped house. We got at least 3 item checks there, plus we've got, of course, Thieves Town, which we now know has the green pendant, so he might consider holding off on checking that place, but then again, it's a very good item spot. He's going to open it up. He's going to go in? Yep, he's going to go in. I take back what I said.
Yeah, probably check at least the first 4. The other danger is, of course, there can be a hammer-locked item in Thieves' Town if we get a small key.
Yep, he needs to find at least 3 items before that big chest comes into play. If he finds at least 3, then we know Blind has the last one, and he's good to go. He's already found 1. He's found the arrows, and there's the map. Not what he was hoping for. Render now getting his half magic there.
And not quite the rupee hoard he was hoping for.
He definitely does not have enough. He's going to at least check what's on the ledge here to see what it is, but he does not have enough rupees for Zora, so he's going to have to come back here. That Zora's got some. There's the big key, guaranteed to be in the first 4 chests. So this is either going to be the small key or an item. And it's an item. That's what he was hoping for right now.
All right. Looks like he's going to go and continue his way to the back. Hope that the other 2 items are not in that big chest.
Yeah, he's hoping that... Oh.
I take it back. He is making his way out. I think he was hoping to death warp, but that piece of heart refilled him entirely, and so he's got to go the long way.
Oh, I gotta love when that happens. Yep. Professor Render now also checking all the locations that Jagger checked earlier when he got the Titan's Mitts. So that is for Thieves Town for now. He might consider coming back if he needs to. It's a bit of a risk leaving those items behind, but I don't entirely blame him because, well, it's a risky play getting into Pen Dungeon. He's going to check the chess game here. Not finding anything of value.
Just more bombs. And there's been a couple of questions in chat about this mode. So this is Ambrosia. It was a standard start where we started with a sword. The uncle told us that the boots were on Death Mountain. And all of the dungeon items, all of the dungeon bosses will have a non-dungeon item. No maps, compasses, or small keys.
And actually, you were mistaken. It was not Ice Palace that had the other 5-6 crystal. Crystal 5 is at Turtle Rock.
All right. So that tells us at least that the hammer will not be in Pyramid Fairy today.
Yeah, that's actually a little bit of relief, I think. Oh, 2 digs for the digging game. The only reason he was going to continue getting a little more, he wants to get some more rupees because he wants to see if that Zora money, if he can get that Zora money before it's too late. Still does not have near enough for that, but he's going to dig where he can.
I don't think any items would drop outside of the little dig area. But he's going on his way to Stumpy and the cave formerly known as Hype Cave. There's got to be some money in Hype Cave. There's got to be some money in that cave this time, right? There's money in every other seed, right? So it's probably going to be, all just bomb and arrows, right?
Hype Cave likes to do that. Yeah, Hypergret Cave likes to do that. When it decides to give you trash, it truly gives you trash. All right, nicely done. Just put that bomb in just outside, just within range. Let's see what we got here tonight for Hypergripe Cave. Oh, well, we got a little bit of cash, not much. Let's see what else we get. Oh, money. A little bit of love. A little bit of love. Oh, that is a trash cave. That is a true 100% trash cave.
I think I would call that one a 0.
Oh, absolutely. That is 0 out of 10. Absolutely nothing. Not even a decent amount of cash. That would might at least give. If he had gotten like 100 rupee drop, I might have given that a 1. But no, he didn't even get that.
This does put Yagerji in an interesting predicament. Now, he has no way to access West Dark World or East Dark World where those flippers are. There are a couple of ways to sequence break it. There is a fake flipper setup known as the Kern Jump that will let you fake flipper over to Catfish, but it's a bit of a niche technique and you might not be familiar with it.
Instead, what he's going to do is he's going to take a Froggy on a bit of a world tour here. You don't have mirror. Oh, you don't have mirror and you don't even have a hammer to check Hammer Cave. What are you doing? I swear he has been doing everything like this. Like, he keeps going to places, thinking that, oh, I could go turn this in. Oh, wait, I don't have this item to go check that. We don't know where the mirror is, chat. We haven't found it yet.
I think this might be a case. I believe that this is their first time in Restream. You know what? Maybe it's a little bit of nerves, and we've definitely all made those kind of mistakes before.
Yeah, there's a reason I don't do speed runs, ladies and gentlemen. I just stick to commentary because I know. Oh, and Professor Render actually just went up to the top of Thieves Town, found the other item, a 300 rupee drop. So that means he's got his Zora money now, but that's as far as he can go. Unless he wants to clear the rest of his dungeon, but at least he does not have to worry about the big chest.
I think Jagger G is going to go and take the Smith into Spike Cave. This I've never seen before.
He can't. He doesn't have hammer.
Oh, yep. Another. Oh, that's a mistake that we have all made. I guarantee if you have raced rando and you think, oh, this is perfect, I'm going to go and check Spike Cave and realize you don't have the hammer, it's happened to all of us. Or even worse, you go in there and you don't have a glove.
Absolutely. So, oh, that is just, ooh, that's brutal. But Jagger G now back over the Sanctuary. He's heading back to Kakariko to drop off the Smith. Good old Jeremiah.
Now, what would be absolute value is if the Smith or the Purple Chest gives Jagger G the hammer. Wouldn't need to worry about doing Kern Jump to get to the flippers from Catfish. Could just go over there the normal way.
Indeed. Professor Render now taking on Blind. Gonna get that. Oh, Fire Rod. Not what he was hoping for, but certainly will not turn that down.
I would go and grab that Tempered Sword from the library ledge and go and complete Skullwoods right now.
Yeah. Down goes Blind. He drops a full heart. But it looks like Jagger forgot about that Tempered Sword. He's just going back into the Dark World.
Oh, that hurts. And again, it happens, right? There's always a lot of stress when you're playing rando. It can be easy to forget when you've seen an item but you didn't pick it up, especially in a location that is often, not anything great. Like, how often does library have anything good?
But he is taking your other half of your advice, and he is going back into Skull Woods. He's got that Fire Rod now, so both the items in the back end are now ripe for the taking. So he's not making a bad call here. Just could have done a little bit more.
At least won't need to worry about getting the key off the Gibdo in the back. He's got 3 keys going into the back of Skull Woods.
Professor Render getting his heart, but he's also looking for a little more money. I don't really know why, per se. I guess he wants to make sure he has enough for
maybe,
a couple other locations.
Yeah, maybe potions. He would want to make sure that he had at least 10 more for that for the Smiths, because that can happen too. If he went and did Zora first, he would have been, down to his last pennies paying the Smith off.
Oh, Jagger G just found hammer in Skull Woods.
And Jagger G has completely bypassed the Yaganim requirement with that big flipper and got Titan's mitts off Hobo.
Yeah. He's going to learn eventually that he could have just gotten the flippers, but by avoiding Aghanim, that might have saved him a little bit of time if he can get through the rest of this without too much trouble. Oh, chat brings up a good point.
No.
Actually, no, because Prof already went to Pod. He's already paid off Kiki the monkey, so he doesn't need it.
Yep, Professor Ender went and killed Aghanim, went into Pod, and discovered it was quickly Bolok. So he doesn't need to worry about that anymore. The only other thing that he might need is money for the Pyramid Fairy, but since R5-6 are Misery Mire and Turtle Rock, there's not a heck of a lot that Pyramid Fairy could be hiding today.
No, I would almost say Pyramid Fairy is not going to be checked at all, because it's almost likely it's going to have nothing. But Jagger G now taking on Mothula. With that Fire Rod and Half Magic, he's going to be in good shape. Plus, he's got the Hammer and Master Sword, so it's going to be doing a decent amount of damage here. Oh, he's not. Oh, no! He tried to do it the hard way and paid for it.
Oh, just mistimed his cape. And yeah, bow is something that could be in Pyramid Fairy. And if one of our bows leads to our other bow, that could be an issue.
Yeah, because bear in mind, we with the current versions we have here, this version has progressive bows, meaning that the first bow you find will be a regular bow, and then only then if you find another bow will you get the silver arrows. So until they find that bow, if one of those bows is hiding in the Pyramid Fairy, it's most likely supposed to be where the silver arrows are.
All right, round 2 for Jagger against the Moth, as Professor Render is about to get their Fire Rod.
Now, Jagger G is in a very precarious position. He doesn't have that much health, and these spikes can do a lot of damage. So, you gotta be careful here, especially if he gets trapped. He's got that cape. He needs to use. He should be using this Fire Rod, to be all honesty, but he's gonna go for this route instead.
Also has that blue potion. It's good to use up your magic first with the cape, and then drink that blue goo. Then you'll get full health and all the Fire Rod shots you can handle.
Yeah, which he did. Professor Renner picking up that Tempered Sword, which will help him in that Mothula fight. But thankfully, Jagger D does pull it off the second time around. Down goes the Moth. What does he drop? Oh, nothing.
But does get his first crystal, and the first crystal of our Restream runners.
Took us 48 minutes. We got our first crystal of the race.
All right. Where are you going to go, Jagger G? Starting at Link's house.
Possibly to Pod is the best guess I can come up with. Yep, he's going to Pod.
Yep, that totally makes sense. We'll go and take the Mirror 5 portal. We'll unfortunately also get the bad news that Pod is bow locked, but hopefully he'll be able to pull off the potion glitch and show us a little bit more.
Wait, what's he going in there for?
I'm not sure.
I don't think I've ever seen anyone go into that cave outside of an entrance ramp.
That might have just been a miscontroller thing. It's tough. It is really tough being on Restream, and so I would invite everyone out here to go and give these runners a follow. It takes a lot of bravery to be volunteer down here. And yes,
Absolutely.
Flippers were on Catfish.
Oh, Jagger D took a hit and has to go back and peg Kiki again. He's just having no luck this seed. I kind of feel bad for him right now after everything he's going through.
Yeah, I think he's feeling a little bit out of sorts. Probably feels great though that he managed to avoid the Aga play.
Yeah, because as far as he's probably already assumed that Aghanim was supposed to be required, considering what he's found so far.
Bumper Ledge was nothing. The cape, however, could have been used for Aga, but we also had early Master Sword, so the cape was not actually required for that either. But logically, this was an Aga.
All right, Professor Render, he's going to head into the back end of Skullwood. It's going to be very much rewarded for his efforts because we know the hammer's back there at the very least. So he's going to be happy to find that once he gets done. He's going to defeat Mothula first and then come back for the hammer.
That's how it looks like.
We'll see what he does from there.
All right, we'll have round 2 on the right side of Pod. We'll see if Jagger G can go and pull off this potion glitch.
Actually, I think he's going to go for Mimic Clip.
You forgot to drink your. Oh, he didn't. He had full magic and full health. He couldn't drink his potion.
Oh, his luck! I'm telling you, his luck has just been outright terrible.
Oh, so he could run himself into the red mimic, but I think he's gonna go and try Mimic Clip. And oh no, Professor Render taking a death on Mothula, even with that tempered sword.
Also, I normally don't mention this during the race, but I've got the SRL chat up right now, and Jagger G, as a joke, instead of forfeiting, he 5-fitting. Yeah, I think he's feeling it right now. I don't know about you folks. I think he's feeling it.
Yeah, from the SRL chatter, this seed seems to have taken a toll on a couple of people.
We've already had a few forfeits, like legit forfeits already this race, to give you any idea of how much this has been kicking people's butt.
All right, round 2 for Mothula with Professor Renderer.
And thankfully, he did get that tempered sword, so even if he runs out of fire rod magic, he should be fine if he's. I said careful. Hey, Jagger G pulled it off. He got the Mimic Clip.
Very nicely done. That is a tricky thing to do with single frame inputs. Let's see what pod is locking behind the bow. Of course, a small key to start with. Had to be at least one on this side.
There's a reason why we call I like me and Dr. Bob Tastic like to call this dungeon the Mullet Mansion, because most of the keys tend to be aimed towards the front, while most of the items tend to be hiding out the back. So like any good mullet, it's business in the front, party in the back. All right, so Professor Renner taking it out. Mothra is going to go back in, grab that second item. Going to be very happy with what he finds in there, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, you're forgetting that you gotta flip the switchies.
You might want to just reset the room. There, he's going to reset the room because that red. There we go.
All right, Professor Render has his hammer now, making his way back out through the maze. Was probably hoping for a mirror.
That would have been nice, but hey, hammer's certainly not going to be something to complain about there. Meanwhile, Jagger G now the back end of pod here. Guns the fourth bottle with a fairy in it. That is all 4 bottles accounted for early on.
Into the dark basement. 2 more chests in here. Yet another small key. And another key.
More keys! Ha 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 ha!
So Shades, chat brings up an interesting point. What do you figure that a bow is going to cost you 500 big ones in this seed?
I will laugh so hard if that's the case.
And we know that there's an item on the Armos Knights. What if that's a nice little hookshot or mirror?
Well, they're going to have to go back to that anyway, because Eastern Palace is a crystal dungeon, so we'll have to see. There's the big key for Jagger. So if I think there's only 1 or 2 items left in pod, so I got 3 items, 2 to 3 items left. There's the powder. So I think unless if my math's right, there might still be 1 more item here in this big chest, but I know we already know that Helmet Star King's gonna add an item. And powder and mushroom back to back. What are the odds of that?
That's a pretty nice find, getting your fetch quests all in a row like that.
Never thought I'd see that in a long time, especially like that. The next best thing would be them both in like Waterfall or Pyramid Fairy.
Oh no!
I think he went to Death War, but he forgot he had that fairy in a bottle.
Oh, that's
Again,
awful.
the luck of this match.
Just save and quit. Just save and quit, dude. Just save and quit. But we are going to get a purple chest check from Professor Renderer.
Indeed.
We knew the smith itself gave us something good. Hammer pegs was garbage. Maybe the end of the smith chain in this purple chest is going to give us something else. Maybe that mirror, that'd be super nice. The other thing that hook shot would be great.
All right, let's see what you got for us, then. Well, the kind of thing you would expect in a thief's chest. 300 rupees.
All right, there's our rupees issue solved.
Yeah, we are pretty much set at this point on. I think a Zora check would probably be in the cards at this point.
That might be in the playbook for Professor Render, but he'll probably... Oh, no, wait. I was thinking he was going to maybe go and dip into Ice Palace, but do Zora first. But looks like he is going to go and check Eastern.
Yeah, he hasn't checked that yet, so there might... But unfortunately, he's not going to find much, since we already know what's in there aside from Marmos Knights. And Jagger G now, he's going to be doing his pyramid and catfish run. Probably going to get a little bit of a chuckle when he sees what's on catfish.
Oh, nope. Turning in the green pendant.
Oh, yeah, I forgot we picked that up earlier.
No, because he had just beat Thieves Town, got his fire rod, beat Skullwoods, and so now he's back in the area. Ice Palace is our next clearable dungeon, but every random runner will tell you, Go Mode Ice is the dream, Searching Ice Palace is the pits. And not just the one in the Ice Palace bottom jump room.
And bear in mind, let's also bear in mind that Ice Palace is not logically full clearable, because at least there's a possibility that it's not full clearable, because if there's an item locked behind the hook shot, that could be a problem.
Jagger G gets their flippers, are almost back in logic now, skipping that Aga play, but we are going to finally see what Zora has. Pay to play.
Yep. What is our 500 rupees worth? Is it a life lesson? Is it a love lesson? Or is it value? After having to miss out on this so many times, I would hope it's value at this point. Make it worth their trouble. Meanwhile, Jagger G heading back into near the Village of Outcasts. Probably going to check that purple chest himself.
A little bit surprised he's not checking powder first before going into the Dark World.
Yeah, that is true. You could check. Yeah, both of our runners passed up on Magic Bat.
Well,
it made sense for Professor Render.
Yeah, he hasn't actually gotten the powder or the mushroom yet in order to do it.
And Love Lesson.
And Professor Render just kind of stares at Zora for a bit, trying to figure out what the heck do I have to do next. And I think the answer is, unfortunately, you gotta go into Ice Palace.
Well, we do have a few other checks. We still have Magic Bat in play, we still have Mushroom in play, and now that we finally have the hammer, Spike Cave is back in play.
However, the mushroom and the powder are out of logic, locked behind a bow.
That is true. So for Professor Renderer, Spike Cave would probably be like, if you don't want to risk Ice Palace being hookshot locked, then Spike Cave would be your check.
I think Professor Render's just giving himself a moment. You know, sometimes you just need that.
Yeah, he's just collecting himself at this point.
Ice could absolutely have the bow. I'm not sure why people are saying that it couldn't. And welcome to the Raiders from Speed Gaming to this nightly Ambrosia race. It's been rude, to say the least.
That is an understatement. Yeah, shout out to the 125 people joining us here from Speed Gaming 1. It's nice to have you guys here. You've missed so far. You've missed a pretty rough sea, to say the least. Items have been drip feeding at this point. And right now, we are not even sure what we're doing. It looks like Professor Renner might have just taken the hint I was going for here. He might be going to Spike Cave. Meanwhile, Jagger G going to finish up here in Thieves Town. We know there's not going to be much here. You know, he's going to realize pretty soon he doesn't have to worry about the big chest, though technically he could check that because he does have the hammer, but I believe the small key was probably, I believe, locked inside its own chest, so he probably doesn't have to worry.
Yep, and he read the logic perfectly, didn't bother checking that maiden's chest, is just going straight to blind. And we are now going to get that full check of Spike Cave with a hammer and a glove and enough health and magic and invincibility items to make our way through.
Yep. We've got the magic cape and half magic, so we definitely have more than enough to put this cave in check. Was it worth the trouble? No, it was not. It was the swag net. I'm sure to some people that's great, but not what we're looking for right now.
No, indeed. So I believe that means Ice Palace, huh?
It has to be Ice Palace. There's literally nothing else, at least not in logic. I mean, yeah, Jagger G could check Mushroom and Powder, but that's literally it. Logically speaking, Ice Palace has to be the play.
And Professor Render is like saying, no, I would rather have a Eastern Palace that I can't clear than going into Ice Palace without the hook shot.
Well, he's going to be sorely... No, he's going to Pod. He's going back to Pod. No, never mind. He's going to Eastern. I thought he was going to Pod, but he's taking the long way. He's taking the back way around into Eastern. Oh, what a seed. What a seed.
Yep, so this had started out as Ambrosia is standard mode. Everybody went through escape. We had a guaranteed sword from the beginning. The uncle told us the boots were on Death Mountain. And pretty barren up until we got to Mini Moldering Cave, where we found a glove. We got a lamp and cape in Kakariko, which shouted to everybody, hey, let's do Aghanim, but we put it off to the last moment.
And one of our runners didn't even do it at all because he went out of logic and found the Titan's mitts on the hobo, which allowed him to skip that entirely. So that lucked out for him, but that's about the only luck he's had so far this seed. Let's be completely honest with ourselves.
Yeah, we are looking for a bow, a hookshot, and a mirror. We will need the flute, but we know where that is. It's on top of Spectacle Rock, locked behind that mirror.
Let's not forget, since Mr. Meyer is... Yeah, I was going to say, since Mr. Meyer is also in play, we are also looking out for the ever so beloved Cane of Samaria.
Also required for Turtle Rock, and we might need at least one more medallion. Maybe we'll luck out and they're both bombos, but the way this seed is going, I highly doubt it.
Absolutely. Oh, keep your eyes on Jagger G. Is he about to make the play? I think he...
he's in...
well, no,
Yeah?
Yeah, he's in the light world. Nope.
The palette swap confused me.
I know. It does that for me, too. Well, since we know he's not going to be doing anything, I think this actually might be a good time to talk about something that has recently been announced. Oh, wait. I may have to wait on that. Nope, he's going to Zora. He's finally going to turn Zora. So, it's been recently announced that thanks to our runner, Synac, we're going to be getting a chance to replay an old version of the randomizer. Version 18 will be back in play very soon. Now, for those of you who are new to the randomizer, we're on version 31 right now, I believe. So, Mind-Me, why don't you go ahead and explain to our audience what makes version 18 so beloved that we're going to bring it back?
Version 18 is what gave Hype Cave the Hype Cave moniker. It was almost guaranteed to have progression. You still had progressive swords, you still had progressive gloves, it wasn't that far back, but you had an easy mode where you could get quarter magic. There were 2 copies of silver arrows in the item pool. You would rarely find vanilla items. It felt like you would find boots every seed. And that's what you have to look forward to if you go to the throwback.synac.live that I posted with the exclamation point throwback. Now, you can explore all the other lovely things that version 18 had to offer. And the reason that we're going specifically back to version 18 is because that was the version the very first Link to the Past major tourney was run on. And that tourney started in the end of March in 2017. So at the end of March, we're going to have a showcase race with this version 18 logic.
There you have it, folks. If you guys want to see how Link to the Past Randomizer truly became the juggernaut it has been today here in the speedrunning community, check that out. Like we said, link is in the chat right now. Go check that out. In the meantime, Professor Render has begun their run into the Ice Palace. And as a Floridian, I should mention that I get a laugh every time we go to Ice Palace because there used to be a stadium here in Tampa, Florida, called the Ice Palace.
I just think of Zarathustra. All right, this first chest will give us a hint as to the chances that this dungeon is hookshot locked. If we find a small key here, this dungeon is not hookshot locked, but it doesn't mean that it is. Okay, the chances that this dungeon is hookshot locked have increased dramatically. Have one more chest to check to see if this dungeon is hookshot locked. And Jagger G is going to go and turn in the mushroom.
Now, if I remember correctly, there are 3 items fully in Ice Palace. Technically 2, since we know one of them will be on Cold Stare. So they need to find 2 items before they clear this dungeon out. Meanwhile, Jagger G going to turn in that mushroom he got earlier in Pod. Now, this is out of logic, but it could be helpful to him. Never mind.
Nope. Fetch Quest 1 was garbage. But maybe the powder will lead to something interesting.
He's certainly running out of checks, that's for sure. He may eventually have to make the same play that Professor Render is making now and make his way to Ice Palace.
And I hope for Jagger G's sake he remembers that Tempered Sword on Library Ledge. Please pick it up.
Be nice right about now. He kind of needs it.
He's going into...
Just seriously do that?
Just showing off a nice little thing where you can go and powder the pot, the cuckoo into the pot and show a woman who got transformed. I think he's having some fun at this point.
Clearly.
You gotta get your laughs where you can with this seed.
I think he's given up any hope of ever winning the seed. I think that's what's going on here. He's just like, you know what? To heck with it. I'm just gonna have fun at this.
All right.
He is gonna check Magic Bat, so this is the other check he's got available to him.
And Freezer Chest did have a small key, so Ice Palace is not hookshot locked.
That is a lucky break for him. And Magic Bat is a bust. So yeah, if my tracker's showing correctly, he has nothing else left. So yeah, Ice Palace could not be hookshot locked because it would be soft locked at that point.
I'm thinking we'd probably find the bow here. With like mirror on either
2 items left.
or...
There's 2 items left in this dungeon. He hasn't found any items so far. So there's got to be something in here. Oh, there's the second item. Or no, has he found any items so far? I don't think he's checked all the chests yet.
Nope, this is only the 3rd check we see. We see the compass and a small key. That's it.
So we still got 1, 2, 3 more chests left in this dungeon. One of those being the big chest, if my math is correct. So yeah, he's going to have to go up and check those other chests.
hopefully going to go and show us a nice shortcut to avoid having to go all the way around to get back to the small key side. Nope. Going to go all the way around, or else he's going to go right to Cold Stare and then just enter Ice Palace again.
That's a bit of a gamble there. I mean, either way, it's going to take a while, but this might actually be the longer route in all honesty. He is going to heal up because he's dangerously low on health right now.
And
that is an interesting bunny sprite there for Cadence. Oh, only one heart. Only 2 hearts going to Cold Stare. This is, I'm not comfortable with this at all.
And he is out of fairies. He is out of potions.
And this is not a boss you want to die to. If you die to Cold Stare, you've got to go all the way back through Ice Palace. You do not want to do that. But if he dies, he doesn't have a choice because there's nothing else left for him to check.
You know what? It's not the worst thing if he dies to Cold Stare, since he is probably intending on going through Ice Palace again, since he knows there's one more item left in here. Probably going to be knocking out some pause strats to go and take care of the pups.
Oh, I'm feeling tense right now. This is. Ah!
Oh no! Oh.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about. That was what I was worried about.
That feels so awful. Did he save and quit instead of save and continued? Oh no. You know you have to go. He's probably going to load up on potions.
It's the only thing that makes sense.
Start at Link's house, take the portal to the witch's hideout, load up on potions, then go back in.
He has to. There's just no way.
That's so disheartening.
It is. And you could tell that one hurt him hard. And that also gives Jagger G a chance to retake the lead here. Because if he can get through and defeat Cold Stare without dying, he could have that'll give him a significant advantage.
We're not sure why Jagger G didn't get Red Sword. It's possible that he forgot that it's on the library. There's a lot to keep track of when you're doing a seed like this. Especially a seed, any seed, there's a lot to keep track of. But a seed like this, where the logic chain has been super linear, he did an early sequence break to get Titan Mitts. Yeah, that's a good point from Gogaro in chat. There's not a whole lot about this seed that actually is like Ambrosia. If the gods are eating this, I don't think I'd want to be them. Maybe that's why they're so angry. Or maybe crazy.
And this is definitely one of those dungeons where this palette swap does not favor it because Ice Palace looks horrible right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, this is not a great one for Ice Palace. It makes the shadow for the Ice Palace bomb jump very difficult to line up. Oh no! Got the bomb jump and then fell into the hole again.
Oh, jeez.
Has to burn one of their blue potions.
And this is where we start to see how cruel Ice Palace is. Because like we said, for Professor Render, he has to redo this entire dungeon. And unlike other dungeons where you can kind of just speed right through, here, you can't. You have to go through the entire dungeon, killing all these enemies, opening all these doors, all over again. It is not fun. This is probably the worst dungeon to have to restart.
And he had already used up... Oh, did he? Why doesn't he have any small keys?
I don't know. Did he use them all? Huh.
Did he just hit continue instead of save and quit?
I don't know.
Oh no, that means he can't check the chests on the hookshot lock side.
Oh, he used that key on the side room before Cold Stare. That was his last key.
Okay, so whatever's on that side, it can't be blocking the hook shot, so the item that he needs is on Cold Stare. Because you cannot key or block yourself in these dungeons. And not sure if Jagger G knows about going around the other way to get that small key. Cold Stare cannot have a key because we are playing the Ambrosia settings, which means that the dungeon bosses do not have dungeon items. No small keys, no big keys, no compasses, no maps.
So yeah. Now, the possibility of, the key itself being locked in its own chest, possible, but I don't think that's possible here in Ice Palace. So, yeah, this is, oof. Now, Jagger G did use the other Ice Palace bomb jump to get across that hookshot locked side. Probably not going to find much over here, but he could find something.
Probably will find the big key for that big chest. Logically, you do need the big key to complete Ice Palace. All right, round 2 for Professor Render. I am sure that he hates Cold Stare with all of his might.
There's the big key for Jagger G. There's still one chest left for him to check along the way. And now it's Cold Stare, round 2, fight!
Taking care of bombos for the shell, not taking any risks at all this time.
They did that the first time. It wasn't though we had a bit of a graphical glitch. The shell didn't go away. I don't think I've ever seen that before.
Yeah, he did do that on purpose when he entered the select menu just as the shell was disappearing. But no problems this time.
Oh, but it only gets the red nail, which means the item is still in the dungeon.
So he soft locked himself. So it's got to be in this big chest here, whatever the item is. And that big key is on the hookshot lock side.
This could be bad. And it's the mirror!
So I think that the Ambrosia setting doesn't quite have the key logic properly in it.
Oh, this could be bad. This could be very bad.
So Professor Render would have to do that same bomb jump. Now, that bomb jump wasn't required. You could have used your keys in a specific way to get to that chest. But right now for Professor Render, the only way is to do that glitch.
To answer your question, chat, hints are not available, so there was no way for him to get such a hint. But at this point, there had to be a required item in Ice Palace, given the circumstances, because he's literally checked everything else. And that's what he's doing right now. He's double-checking his tracker, I'm sure, to see what is available and what he's going to have to do. And he's going to come to the conclusion that we have, that literally this is it. Oh, no! Not him, too! Jagger is down! But if Professor Render is not familiar with that other Ice Palace bomb jump, I would not be surprised if we see a forfeit here very soon. Much as I hate to say it, I think it's coming. And Jagger G is saying, you know what? I've got the mirror. To heck with it. I'm going on. I'll come back later. Which, given that he's now got a whole lot of new locations available, I can't say I blame him.
No, indeed, especially knowing that flute is right up there. Can check all of Death Mountain and Dark Death Mountain.
Yep. In fact, first thing he's going to do is he's going to check the Ether tablet over here. He's got the Master Sword. He's got the Book of Medora. He can check this tablet, see what it's got hiding back there. And it's, well, it's not the Ether medallion, but it is a medallion. He's got Quake.
So, yeah, this seed has been awful. Like somebody said, exactly how is this an Ambrosia seed? It's supposed to be, you know, a nice seed where you know that all of the bosses have a non-dungeon item, except that it's been the worst items. And yes, we do think that Professor Render has soft-locked himself in Ice Palace due to his key usage. This could be because the Ambrosia mode isn't something that's necessarily directly intended by the devs. So the key logic might not account for everything.
And you can see it is completely broken. He's trying to figure out what he can do, but unless he knows how to do that bomb jump, there may not be anything he can do.
Yeah, the logic does not account for bomb jumps, so the logic just didn't take into account that Cold Stare absolutely could not have a key in this seed. And so Professor Render used his small keys on opening the switch room by the Cold Stare boss to refill on health and magic. And unfortunately, I think the logic intended for him to use that key to get over to the hookshot lock side.
Yeah, but unfortunately, now that he's used it, he has no other choice. The only way he can finish this seed at all is to use a glitch, to break the logic.
And I think Jagger C just kind of forgot that they had the mirror, had fell down from the big key location, and forgot how they can get past bolts. Alright, I think Professor Render is going to go back to Pod. Unfortunately, we know this is not going to give him anything. There is a powder and a mushroom back there, but neither of those lead to progression.
He's just trying to go through whatever possibilities he can do, but unfortunately, we know from what we've seen on both their streams, there's literally nothing he can do. He has to go back. He has to be able to do that other Ice Palace bomb jump. There's literally no other choice. And if he cannot, he's done.
Jagger G is a little bit upset at those crystal switchers. He keeps falling down, trying to do the bomb jump at the big chest, and would like to hit the switch from behind the blocks so he can avoid having to kill these the hard hat beetles again.
At this point, I'd say quit trying to do the bomb jump. You're only making your life harder here because you keep falling down both those holes. Go for the... There he goes. He finally got it. And it wasn't even worth the trouble.
Ugh.
Has he found an item yet?
Nope, there has not been an item. So the items are on Moldorm and in the basement. So it's the worst possible Tower of Hera.
Can this seat just stop punishing these guys already for crying out loud?
Well, what do you say we have a do-over here? Let's just give everybody the win.
I think if we did generate a new seed and just let these guys start over, it'd still be faster than them trying to complete this one. That's for sure. The thing is we didn't curse them. We didn't predict this. We didn't call this. It just keeps happening.
I
Down
think
goes
that they were.
Moldorm, no troll.
I think that, maybe a little bit of blue. There's our bow. No blue language required on the red pediment. We are still looking, though, for a hook shot. Kana Samaria and maybe the Easter Medallion?
Yep. And the answer question in chat, yes, Ped has been checked. Nothing. Ped is dead.
Just a piece of heart on the floating island.
I just realized something. I just realized something even more infuriating. Jagger G has all 3 pendants. He has not checked Ped yet.
Oh no. But he's got a lot of progression he can do right now.
Yes.
He can clear Eastern, he can clear Pod. We know there's 2 items there. He's got, another 7 plus 6, so another 13 items here on East and Dark Death Mountain. Oh no, not quite. Only 9, because we can only get 1 item in Hookshot Cave.
Yep.
Unless, maybe the hookshot is right here in Paradox Cave, please?
That'd be nice. Or at least somewhere
Pretty please?
before we get to Hookshot Cave. Also, 250 rupee drops right next to each other in Paradox Cave. What are the odds of that? Oh, we got silvers!
Okay, at least that's nice.
Yeah, at least we won't have a silverless Ganon here. That's always a nice little fun to have. Because Lord knows, ever since progressive silvers became a thing, I have seen a lot more silverless Ganon fights, because sometimes those silvers are just way out of reach, but not this time.
Yeah, both bows were indeed mirror locked. But I mean, as far as everything else in this seed that's progression has to be mirror locked at this point, which that is in the Ice Palace big chest.
Looks like Jagger G is going to check out Turtle Rock. We're going to finally find out what our first medallion is requirement going to be.
Please don't be Ether. Please don't be Ether. Please don't be Ether.
If it's either, I'm going to laugh.
Well, you did say you were going to laugh.
That, my dear, is a commentator's curse.
I said please, though. The seed is so rude. It didn't even acknowledge me asking very please and nicely.
It does not matter how much you beg or plead. The minute you said it, that was what was going to happen. You jinxed it.
All right, Super Bunny Cave, Heart Container, and
the final arrow.
We're running out of unique items here.
Yeah.
All right, 1 check here in Hookshot Cave.
Nothing. I gotta say it as a YouTuber I follow always likes to say this game's better with.
All right, Jagger G gonna go and activate his flute, and I imagine go and check out the mire area.
Okay, Jagger, do me a favor. While you're turning on your flute, go pick up that dang sword. Everyone rise for the Link to the Past national anthem, ladies and gentlemen. And ladies and gentlemen, the goose is loose. Ha!
And Professor Render are gonna go and get their bad news about that the mushroom is not anything.
All right, and Jagger now heading to the Mire area. Probably going to check out the Mire shed, checkerboard cave. And we'll also see what medallion is required for Misery Mire. Don't say anything.
My lips are sealed.
Oh, good God! The one medallion we need is the one we don't have.
Well, hopefully that means that... No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it. I was going to say something. I'm not going to say it.
I was about to say, don't say anything.
I'm just going to be a silent commentator. Hey, what's up, chat? How you guys doing? I'm going to talk about anything other than this wretch of a seed.
Oh, God, this is funny. I feel bad for the runners. I truly do, but I can't deny this is hilarious. Checkerboard came also a Chad's like, just say it. It can't get any worse. I see John Cena peeking out from the ceiling. Are you sure about that?
All right, Jaeger G, looks like they're going to go and make a Swamp Palace dive.
That is a bit of a gamble, honestly, because we don't have hook shot. We can't full clear the dungeon, so he's hoping that he'll find hook shot on the way. He might also stop off and check a couple other spots here because we've got Mirror Cave up the north. Looks like he might consider going and checking out Bombos Medallion as well. Which that is exactly what he's doing.
Yep, and you know what? If you're expecting the seed now just to do the worst things possible, vanilla items are pretty awful.
One thing I've always said, that the trolliest thing a randomizer can do is to put an item in its vanilla location. At this point, I wouldn't hold it again. I wouldn't hold it past this seed. Let's see what the Bombos Medallion, the Bombos tablets got for us.
Just $20. And it looks like Jaeger G is going to go back and finish off Ice Palace.
Without potions, that's a bit of a risk. And Professor Render, he's going to go back to Lumberjack Cave. Didn't you already check this? You know there's nothing here.
I think he's desperate at this point.
I don't think he can do that other bomb jump. He's just looking for anything to get through this dungeon.
Yeah, and I think at this point, Jaeger G has forgotten about that sword on Library Ledge.
You know, I've commentated some horrendous seeds in my two or so years doing commentaries for Link to the Past Randomizer. But I think I can safely say this is without a doubt one of the worst seeds I've ever commentated in my life.
I have a hard agree on that. I've seen, like ones that have awful Randomizer settings or convoluted cross-world key sanity layouts. This is worse than all of them.
Yeah. I've never seen a seed this trolly, this brutal, this unbearably rough in my life. And I've seen some pretty rough seeds. Commentating either way, I've seen some seeds that drip feed items. I've seen seeds that just won't let you progress. The endless walls of just no items for like an hour through until you finally find that one item to finally open things up. I've seen some stuff, but I have never seen a seed consistently troll like this. So, yeah, good lord.
And the other thing for Professor Render is that he did do AGA, and he had to know that, you know, when he got those Titan's mitts from Hobo, that he could have fake flippered and avoided the AGA play. And yeah, Professor Render's going back on all the places that he had looked at but not necessarily picked up, just in case it was something on there. So going back over to Bumper Cave, nope. Probably go over to Zora's Ledge, to the Pyramid, to the race game, Desert Ledge.
Also, someone in chat and said, at least it's not Key Sanity. I've seen Key Sanity seeds that were nicer than this. Plenty of Key Sanity seeds that were nicer than this.
I mean, I don't want to say for sure, but I think that, you know, the logic is obviously a little bit bugged in this Ice Palace, probably because of the Ambrosia settings. Gonna go and grab some fairies using the bottles and the bug net. A good plan there. I think he somehow both caught and used that fairy at the same time. I thought there was only 2 fairies in that room.
No, there were 3. I saw 3 in there. And I do have to disagree with you on one point. I don't think this seed was bugged per se, but it was very specific on what it wanted you to do, and Professor Render didn't do that. And now he's being punished for it.
The thing is that traditionally in the randomizer, it doesn't matter how you use your small keys, you cannot soft lock yourself. Oh, I see. I see. Orange Koopa bringing it up in the chat. It was actually the Ice Palace bomb jump that messed that up, because you weren't supposed to have access to use that side door since the switches were up. So because you did the bomb jump and had access to use that key in a way that the randomizer didn't expect, that's how you soft locked yourself. And that is the risk that you take when you do logical sequence breaks, like the bomb jump, even though it makes Ice Palace much better. But we have a nice hammer Cold Stare from Jagger G.
Nicely done. Finally got his revenge on Cold Stare, but that's it. Now he's back on track to finish up the rest of the seed. Ugh. And to think, you know, we were saying earlier that Jagger D was just having so bad of luck that there was no way he was going to be able to win this race. But at this point, it may very well likely be a guarantee that, at least as far as our featured runners are concerned, that he's the only one who's even going to be able to finish. Unless Professor Renderer can do that other bomb jump, it might just be game, set, match.
Alright. Jagger G gonna go and combo Pod Eastern with the mirror. That's so nice. Get 2 crystals out of the way, 2 items. Maybe they're 2 of the items that we're looking for.
And what's even better for him is he's got silver arrows, meaning both the bosses here in Pod and Eastern will be an absolute joke. With the Armos Knights, 1 shot, 1 kill for each. For the Helmassar King, it's 16 whacks with a hammer and then 1 silver arrow right between the eyes, and he is down. So this is going to be very nice for him to deal with. He's going to have no problems with these two bosses.
And, you know, it feels awful for Professor Render that the Ice Palace bomb jump did end up soft locking him because he opened that door, as members in chat have pointed out. But with sequence breaks, that's part of the risk that you take. When we see that Ice Palace bomb jump all the time, it usually saves a lot of time, it doesn't cause any issues, but every sequence break has a risk. Fake Flipperine has a risk of death. When you do bomb jumps, you have a risk of dying as well. It's just that this is one of the highest risk things that you can do. And the only way to fix it is to do another bomb jump. And
Yep.
that bomb jump, actually, with the red Baris, is not a terrible one to set up. You can set it up pretty reliably with a spin against the block.
There's only been one other race where a honestly innocent mistake cost them everything. There was a race I saw where they got all the way to Gan's Tower, and one of the runners used a key on that center door between the left and right side, the one that no one ever opens. He used that key, and because of that, he didn't have enough keys to get to the top of Ganon's Tower, and it cost him. And this was during a tournament race. In fact, I think it was like quarter or semifinals, too. And it ruined it for him.
That's a feel bad, but here we go. We're gonna get a super quick Armos fight with silver arrows.
Like I said, one shot, one kill. Down he goes. A single rupee for all that trouble.
Well, glad we weren't holding our breath for that. Alright, and then into pod, gonna go and get that last item off of Helmasaur. Grabbing a key along the way. Oh no, yes, you gotta go grab that key, because you used it on the middle door.
Yep. There we go. Yeah, you can see Professor Renderer is completely he is just completely lost right now. He has no idea what to do. He's trying to think of any way possible to progress the seed without having to go back to Ice Palace, and there's just no way. There's literally nothing else he can do.
He's thinking hard. He's really thinking hard, looking at his tracker, looking at his map.
Actually, it's official. Ladies and gentlemen, Professor Renderer has forfeited from the race.
Just after we finally had our first finisher.
Yep, because ladies and gentlemen, Ravis 10 has taken first place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 48 seconds. Oh, that is just saddening. And even worse, we are now getting confirmation as well that the OK guy has taken second place with 146.12, but you gotta feel for Professor Renderer right now. He gave it his all. Oh, that's just, oof. All right, so even though he didn't make it, he has agreed that we're going to be bringing Professor Renderer in a little early here to talk about what happened. This is going to be brutal, folks.
And on to Helmasaur for Jagger G. We'll go and finish off this fight and then bring Professor Renderer in. See what item Helmasaur was locking.
Indeed. One shot down right between the eyes. Thankfully, the Helmasaur King was easily distracted. Takes him out, no problem. What does the big blizzard drop tonight? The big 20. And we have Professor Renderer joining us here in the call. Professor, how you feeling, my friend?
We're so sorry.
Clueless. Honest to God, clueless. Where's my progression?
So
here's what happened. Basically, you were in the right call. Ice Palace was the play. The problem was...
Oh my God, really?
Here's what happened.
What?
The big chest in Ice Palace had the mirror.
Oh my God.
yeah, unfortunately.
Really?
So unfortunately,
Yeah.
So unfortunately, when you opened up that door by the switch to get refill health and magic using that key, that's where you soft locked yourself.
I soft locked myself?
Yeah.
Because
The only way you could have actually finished this race is if you had used the other Ice Palace bomb jump to get past the hook shot locked room.
Yeah, but by doing the
I caused a soft lock.
because you did the Ice Palace bomb jump, that gave you access to use that small key on that little door. If you didn't do the Ice Palace bomb jump, you couldn't have used that key, and you would have been able to go over to the right-hand side, get the big key, and get your mirror out of the big chest. So it's one of those rare situations where sequence breaking actually hurts ya.
That's clearly an oversight. That's clearly an oversight.
We've been saying the same thing, and I'm pretty sure we'll be reporting this to make sure that doesn't happen again, but that's what happened in this case.
Yeah, I don't understand why that happens. Because Vitar, I love you, man. I love you, but come on, Ice Palace bomb jumps are clearly something that you can do, and something that should not have happened, at all.
Yeah,
No, we agree. We agree. And in fact, someone in chat, do us a favor, go back and clip that so we can show, clip some of that and see if we can send a few clips to the admins to make sure they get it.
It's one of the risks you run anytime you do break logic, and unfortunately, Ice Palace logic does not account for the bomb jump.
That something should happen in V32, straight up V32. That has to happen. It has to account for the bomb jump because it's clearly a tech that you have to do, and if you want to keep playing, and that's one of the cases where apparently a bomb jump causes a soft lock, and I kind of didn't even realize it until I literally saw one of the runners finish. That's it. I don't know. I'm gonna have to roll another seed just to clear my mind. I feel so angry about myself that I caused a soft lock when I clearly should not have done that right away, and it just hurts. I clearly made a right. I wanted to make the call just to get it out of the way, and I did not even realize that this. Oh, I never do.
Deep breaths, my friend. Deep breaths.
The alternate is you learn the other Ice Palace bomb jump.
I'm gonna keep on streaming. Honestly, I'm just gonna roll another seed and just clear that out of my mind because honestly, that just sucks.
Well, I mean, this whole seed was garbage. So, I mean, it's logically required AGA. It's super linear progression. You get that tease about the flute, and then you're just looking for the mirror, and it never shows up.
Right, and honestly, I made the right call to just go to AGA when I had the chance to, and it's one of those cases where apparently I found an oversight.
Well, thank you so much for agreeing to be on Restream. These things happen in Rando. It's a learning experience, and thanks for coming in to share your thoughts.
Whatever. I just need another seed to finish, just to clear that out of my mind.
Do what you got to do, man. Go take a deep breath, get some tea, do whatever you need to do, have some drinks, whatever it takes. Just calm down.
Yeah.
It happens. It sucks. We all agree with you. That sucked, but it happens. Just take a deep breath and just go chill out for a while.
Right. All right. I'm gonna get out of here. Thanks for putting up with my shenanigans. Also, the bait on pad. Bait on pad.
I know, right?
Thank you so much for that. That was fantastic.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome.
At least you gave us that at the end.
Because I found I did it like last time, and ironically enough, that happened the same the heart piece. It happened again. So it was the last time I did it. I baited out Scruff and someone else, but then I did it again, and it happened to be a heart piece again. So I win.
There you
Take
go.
care.
Just needed a good laugh. Have a good night, man.
Alright.
You're right.
Thanks for surrender.
No problem.
Oh, you gotta feel for him there, folks. That you could hear the rage in his voice. That was just, I don't blame him. I really don't. I'd probably be pretty ticked off too if that were me. Oh, and French vanilla hook shot.
Oh
For
my
Chatterjee.
gosh! And that there was the big key over on the other side of the left side, and so there's our hook shot. Still looking for Samaria. Still looking for Ether. But yeah, ouch. But I mean, I think that was all that Jaeger G had left at this point. Because he had cleared Pod, cleared Eastern. Alright, what's in our big chest?
Just some money. Oh, but he's got to get another key. He's got to get the key over here. Yeah, I clearly cannot blame him for that because I'd be just as upset if that were me. So, oh.
And again, it's one of the risks you run playing this game with sequence breaks, not just in terms of, like gameplay risks, like dying or soft locking, but even losing the logic, If Jaeger G, had gotten those Titan's mitts early and then orphan Catfish, he might have completely forgot where those flippers were and that he got his Titan's mitts out of logic. And that's another risky play.
Yeah. And if it makes you feel any, and Professor Render, if you go back and watch this VOD, I can tell you, you're not alone. We've had people forfeiting left and right in this seed. Even now, people, hold that thought. Someone call Phantom Ryu, because that's gotta be Kane. That's gotta be Kane. Yeah, as I was saying, this seed was clearly torturing everyone. Even after people have started finishing, we're seeing people dropping left and right from this race. This race was brutal to everyone.
I mean, you got required Aga. You've got that awful mirror in Ice Palace. We've got double ether for our medallion dungeons that is nowhere to be found. French vanilla hookshot and swamp. And Volmit coming up, someone jumped in Swamp Palace. You really couldn't jump into Swamp Palace early. The earliest you could do it was once you got your fire rod from the Smiths.
Yeah, because you had to clear Ice Palace to get it.
Actually, you needed the hammer. So you needed to go get the fire rod from the Smiths, get the hammer from Skull Woods, and then you could go into Ice Palace.
So yeah, this seed was super linear. Oh, he's trying to silver arrow Argus here. This is always tricky. Oh, got him.
Nicely done. And that's crystal number 5.
For that. And let me catch you up to speed on all of our other finished runners, because we've had several people finish. In third place, we have Blaine with a time of 1:50:43. Zelga Dasan in fourth with 1:51:06. Plasma Kappa taking fifth place with 1:51:57. And just recently, DD Signs takes sixth place with 1:56:25.
anytime you've got runners of those caliber getting in the 150, 151 range, that just tells you how bad this seed is.
Absolutely. Yeah, you don't have the medallion for that one yet. And in 7th place, we've got Rufio. Oh, a little early on this call because of the delay, but yeah, this just, oof, 158.10 for Rufio.
Yeah, we've got Hookshot Cave left, we've got Graveyard Ledge, and we do also have Cave 45.
Yeah, I still hate that name. That's the Mirror Cave as far as I'm concerned, but oof. Yeah, I think Jagger is pretty much ready to finish this race. He's got what he needs. All he needs now, he's literally just a medallion away from go mode. He's not going to quit now.
And no, I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say anything about where this Ether Medallion could be. You know, we know the spots that are available. The seed has already chosen where it wants to be.
Yeah, so far, yeah, we've got a few checks left. I think we've got 3, maybe 4 checks left, because, yeah, that's it. Yeah, we've got 4 checks left here, because we still have Basement of Hera, we still have Graveyard Ledge, we still have Hookshot Cave, and we still have Mirror Cave. Everything else has been checked at this point.
And yeah, as Chad is pointing out, in Jaeger G's mind, he also still has Pedestal. Which he could blind pull if he wants at this point.
We know there's nothing on Pedestal, but he doesn't know that yet.
Head dungeons were really, you know, not required in the seed, other than that Moon Pearl on the Desert Torch.
Oh, and we got Lag Shield. As if to add to the pain, we now have that. Oh, this seed. I swear this seed.
All right, at the 2-hour mark, we are going to get a blind head pull, maybe?
I'm thinking, yeah, he's going around. We got a blind ped pull. Oh, we got Rufio, one of our runners in the chat, and apparently he's saying, don't leave the mountain. Let me guess. That's where his Ether Medallion's hiding.
I'm not sure where else on the mountain. Oh my gosh. That's an awful place.
Yeah, is it where I think it is? Is it in the Hera basement? It's in the Hera basement!
I hope
that behind a while.
I hope, just like his tempered sword, he hasn't forgotten about that. Oh, and he's teasing the pet. Oh, come on! What the heck? Don't be doing that.
What's he going back here for?
I don't know.
Also, we should comment that Koi has taken 8th place with 2 hours and 13 seconds, and BBB Kermit has taken 9th place with 2:01:09.
Yeah, I think Jagger G is feeling the burn right now, trying to remember where the heck am I going. But going back to Ped.
Oh, this seed. This seed, I tell you.
Logical Ega, super linear. Gross.
and truly
Gross, Mira.
beyond all reason. And now he sees that, yeah, all this time this was a waste. Oh, good. He's like, I'm here. Even though I know what's here, I'm just gonna pull it anyway.
You know what? This might be a 216 seed for him. Why not? Go for it. You got to have something to live for.
Might as well just do it for the heck of it. Oh, good lord. And we can also confirm we now have our top 10. 10th place belonging to Divusano, or I do not even know how the heck you pronounce that name, with a time of 2024. Rufio, we can verify that yes, fake flippering to get the Titans on Hobo. Jagger G did that, and he skipped Aga completely.
Yep. They flippered into Titans, then got his Fire Rod. Yeah, we know you're missing Ether. You have at least 3 places left to look.
Oh god, if he this, you know, I don't think I've ever calmed a double forfeit in my life, but I am getting the distinct impression that we might just see that here tonight. If Jagger does not, so close to the end, if he does not go back to Hera and check that basement, and he's not going back to Hera.
Alright, I think this is probably Graveyard Ledge K45.
Most likely one of those two. But now thanks to Rufio in the chat, we know that's not where he needs to go. He needs to get to Hera. Chat, how can Jagger G be going blind? He's already beaten blind.
Alright, K45. We still got a couple of unique items left. You know, we're still looking for a shovel. We still got boomerangs, Cane of Burna.
And we still got plenty of trash, too.
Little call out, you know, to everyone's favorite Zelda 1 developer, Fred, leaving a bomb at that big 20, just showing him what he thinks about that.
Yeah, you can tell he's not happy at all.
Alright, what's on your mind?
Well, I can also announce that TabbyCat54 has taken 11th place with a time of 2:05:28. And despite this seed being absolutely brutal, we actually got a new PB from TabbyCat, improving his their personal best by 8 minutes and 9 seconds.
Yeah. I think Jagger G is going back, just like what Professor Render was doing. He's going back to places that he might have thought that he didn't pick up, like Zora Ledge. But no, that is just a piece of heart. Maybe now you'll remember Library, get your Tempered Sword.
That would help. Also, we can now announce New York Rambler has taken 12th place with 2:06:16.
Uh-oh. Staring at the map is never a good sign.
No, when you're staring at the map for that long, something has gone horribly, horribly wrong. You know, it's funny. When I first heard when I first learned what Ambrosia seeds were and we were going to do this, I honestly thought this was going to be a very quick seed, a very easy seed. I have been proven horribly, horribly wrong.
No, you've already gotten your reward from the green pendant. Sorry, he's not going to give you anything else. Doesn't matter how much you let him.
He's desperate. He's like, give me something, damn. Yeah. Jagger G's gone bye-bye. You gone? What are you?
All right, flute to one. Flute to one.
Flute to one.
Terra Basement is calling for you.
Did he miss Mark Hera Basement and thinks he's already cleared that, so doesn't have to go back? I hope not, because that means he's gonna check everything. He's gonna go back everywhere. Oh God. Oh, this is he's broken.
Okay. Yep. No, you want to go south. Get your tempered sword.
For my wrestling fans out there, this guy's more broken than Matt Hardy right now.
You know what the seed is going to be after this race? Deleted!
Delete! 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 Yes!
No, you did do chess game.
Oh God. Yeah, you can tell how bad this seed is that even we're cracking jokes like this at this point. We're done. We're just gone.
But you know what? While Jaeger C is figuring out what he may or may not have missed, this is a nice time to reminder that the maker of Sahasrara Bot and one of the keepers of the website, Synac, has re-released version 18 of the Link to the Past randomizer in a throwback mode. Do you want to play the version back when Hype Cave was actually hype? Down back before when there was, actually, progression in dungeons.
Oh God! Finally, he's picking up the tempered sword.
All right. He knew it. 7 minutes in, picks it up 2 hours and 9 minutes in.
But I don't think it's gonna help. He's still completely broken.
But yeah, go check out that throwback.synac.live. Go check out version 18. See what Randa was like in the first tournament. Back when 2-hour seeds were the norm.
And if you want an idea of how broken those seeds were, we actually will be having a showcase race at the end of next month. End of March, we'll have a couple of special streams for that, so you get an idea of what this throwback seeds are about. So don't miss out on that one. The time.
And yeah, Dagger G is looking over his tracker again. Maybe you're looking at a map tracker. Where else do I have to go? And I thought he was thinking about K45, but going back to dig game, although since it was only 2 digs, it was hardly memorable.
Yeah, but he just remembered, oh wait, I did already do this. There he goes, finally to the mirror cave.
All right. But he had a hard time remembering this.
And it
How hard is
wasn't
it going to
even
be?
worth it.
Nope. How hard is it going to be for him to remember Hera Basement?
Considering it's the only thing he's left to do. Oh, he's up the mountain because he's going. Because it's literally, if his tracker is anything like mine, it is literally the only spot on his tracker.
All right. Here we go. Mirror, go into Hera. Go downstairs. Wait a while. Listen, and get your ether medallion.
And to make it worse, dead rocked. He got dead rocked. The unofficial mascot of the Link to the Past randomizer, because in a seed that's already been this trolly, these are the trolliest non-boss enemies in the entire dang game. And you see why. Good lord, this seed just won't let up.
Oh, very nice. Quaking, freezing, and then hammering it. That's the way you get your rage out of a mold worm.
Yeah.
On a dead rock.
Yeah. Yeah, you can tell he's just a little upset. Just a tiny bit.
Just a little. Just a tad.
And the worst part about it is, once he finally gets this ether medallion out of this chest, he's still got 2 of the longer dungeons out here. Go voting Misery Mire, not that bad, especially if you can God Mire the big key. But Turtle Rock, go voting that's not gonna be fun.
No, sometimes you can get lucky and, skip Laser Bridge, but sometimes the key layout in Turtle Rock just doesn't even let you do that.
You know what's gonna happen, right? You already know exactly how this is gonna end.
Oh yeah. It's gonna be the last chest on Laser Bridge. Like, that's just the way it's gonna be.
And there it is.
No need to rage for that. He knew exactly what was in that chest. It was the last possible location.
And finally, at 2 hours, 14 minutes, and 9 seconds, I get to say, hello, ladies and gentlemen, if you check your phones, your watches, your timekeeping devices, you will find that Jagger G has officially entered Go-Mo time.
Alright. Not a great position, not gonna get a bird toss this time, but I'm sure that Jagger G just wants to get right down to business. Let's get into Mire, let's get her done. Pretty good Mire too. That's one of the most technically necessary rooms in the game. Ideally, you can 1-cycle it with good fire rod usage, but a 2-cycle is nothing to sneeze at.
Yep. Now, the good news is that thankfully Jagger G won't have too much trouble with Vitreous because he's got silver arrows. 1 arrow for each of the small eyes. Godmire!
Hey yo! Something finally goes right this seed.
Took us long enough. Good lord! After how trolly this seed has been, finally something good.
Why are you still checking chests? Why are you still checking chests? Yeah, just go to the back. Just go to the back.
You got what you need. Just go. Go. Also, to reaffirm a question in chat, Ambrosia, how it's supposed to be, it's standard mode, meaning you have to do escape dungeon. You have to do the escape sequence. Guaranteed sorting sword. As soon as you talk to Uncle, you get it. Even if he gives you a different item. And all of the bosses have non-dungeon items, meaning they cannot have a compass, a map, or any kind of key. It has to be an actual potential item. Normally, that would mean a very fast-paced seed because everything's pretty well easy to plan out. But this seed has proven, no matter how easy it seems, always prepare for pain.
I'm trying to think back. I don't think any of the dungeon boss items were any good other than that red mail on Cold Stare.
That's pretty much about it.
So again, just because it's a non-dungeon item doesn't mean it's a good item. Big 20s and heart pieces are items. And note, you only need one small key in Misery Mire if you get a God Mire. Just one to get through that door in the spike room.
Yeah, if you get that big key on that chest on that bridge chest, you're gonna get the small key in that pot. You've got Godmire. That is the for Go mode Misery Mire. That is Godmire because it is the fastest possible route you could get. He had no reason to check that other chest. He did it because it was there, but he did not need to.
Maybe wanted butter.
All right, now it's time for Vitreous. Watch how fast this goes, ladies and gentlemen. Boom, boom, just dead, 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 dead. And then it's just 2 for the big guy. Down he goes. And the bloomerang.
But that is crystal number 6. 1 left to go.
Yeah, and we're going to have an Oops All Dungeon seed here for Jagger G.
Did manage to avoid the Aga 1, though, so that's nice.
That's true. That is true.
If he hadn't fake flippered Hobo to get those Titan Smiths, you could add another 5 minutes onto this seed. This is already incredibly long and convoluted.
I was gonna say. Oh, I am certain this is going to be a seed I will never forget.
Alright, one last climb up the mountain. One more, set of avoiding dead rocks. I wonder if he might just prematurely just quake, just get them all out of the way. That's what I'd be doing at this point.
Nope, but he thankfully dodged the bullet. As if he needed any more troubles.
Yep, we know you got that ether medallion now. Let's open up the turtle. Okay, here we go. Turtle Rock. Final dungeon in this rando, final dungeon in vanilla. The ideal layout is going to be 2 small keys and a big key in these first 3 chests.
We got Godmire, but I'm going to say it right now, we're not going to get God Turtle.
Can I pray to Chimera, friend to all children, to give us a God Turtle Rock?
Okay, you know Chimera? Oh. I like you.
He is a friend to all children, and are we gonna get a swag almost got a swag shovel dash through the rollers here.
That would have been funny.
But that's one more unique item off. We're just down to the red boomerang and the blue cane to get a full tracker bingo here.
Yeah, but we already found the red boomerang with that earlier, if I recall, and we're not picking.
Oh, that's right, it's on Pyramid Ledge. Okay, 2 small keys isn't terrible. We still have a chance to get a big key in the Chomps room.
Also, someone in the chatter said earlier, this is the seed you give to your friends to make them not your friends anymore. You are not wrong, my friend. You are not wrong in the slightest.
Jeez. Nope, we gotta do the vanilla big key chest for a vanilla big key. You know, we probably could have seen this from the beginning when it was so hard to get bombs in Escape, and then all of a sudden we were gifted 3 of them right there.
Yeah. This seed was warning us. That this seed was telling us, prepare for pain. Get out now if you value your sanity.
The seed was generated by Sahasralabot. So I would ask you all to direct your anger at an inanimate amount of code.
Exactly. And the answer to the other question, chat, rough? That is the understatement of the decade, my friend. Good God, this was not just rough, this was absolutely cruel.
It was a logical agaseed, so you would get your flippers off of Catfish, get your Titan's mitts from Hobo, to do the Smith chain without the mirror or the flute, to get your fire rod, to get your hammer in the back of Skullwoods, to go into Ice Palace to get your mirror from the big chest, to get a French vanilla hook shot in left side swamp. And that's just the half of it. Well, we do get a vanilla final upgrade in the Turtle Rock Big Chest, but it's the Butter Sword.
Yep. Not like it matters at this. And sure enough, we're gonna have to go to Laser Bridge.
So I'm looking a little bit ahead here, Shades. But where is going to be the big key? Is it going to be Tile Room, or is it going to be vanilla? With the runners checking Tile Room first.
Oh, I don't know. I can't. Oh man.
They're both pretty awful locations.
Oh, you're not wrong. You are not wrong. All right, let's see which chest. Oh, thank God.
Small mercies. And yeah, Jagger G is just going for the 216 at this point. Let's open up every chest.
Let's just check every.
Okay. Saving that last little bit of magic by doing the Cane of Samaria first. Pulling out the Ice Rod to take care of the Fire Rod first. And setting up for the backdoor strats. That's certainly the quickest way to take care of Trinex.
And now he's got that butter sword, though. He's having some trouble with the second head. There he goes. You died a Trinex. You might as well just stop. Because you have butter sword and red mail. You should not be having this one. There we go. Down goes Trinex. What is our last item drop? And while we get that, ladies and gentlemen, there are 22 possible locations inside of Ganon's Tower where that big key could be hiding. Get your guesses in chat. Where do you think that big key is going to be? As much as I suspect it's going to troll, I'm still giving with my number 13.
And I'm going with my usual 15. But yeah, no matter which chest it's going to be in, it's going to be 22. Like that's just the reality of it right now.
Yeah.
It might be Tile Room 22. It might be Vanilla Big Key 22. Heck, it might even be Torch 22. That's not actually possible.
No. No, that getting it on Torch if he goes left side first, that's God tier. That's God Ganon's Tower.
7 crystal maidens do a little dance for us to open up Ganon's tower.
And let's count. Let the counting begin. All right, let's get it started. Chest number 1, 10 arrows. Number 2, small key. And he's gonna go right side.
Going right. Are you gonna skip tile room? Or are you gonna do it? No, skip and tile room.
He's gonna skip it. He's skipping tower room.
The other thing with this palette is it makes it very difficult to tell if your torches are lit or not.
Yeah, this palette swap is like, I wouldn't be able to do this. This would drive me nuts.
That Samaria punt is the best thing. I love it.
Absolutely. All right, number 3. Bombs. Number 4. Arrows. Number 5. More bombs. Number 6. Pick 20.
Are we gonna get the rare and precious full right? We're going full right.
Hey! Hey!
Not preferred because it's a little bit hazardous, as you can see.
Not fun. Not fun at all, but he got through. Oh, but that hard hat beetle is not making it easy for him. There you go.
Oh, doing the maze in the dark. A lot of runners would just go over to the other side and bonk or do a bomb jump off those skulls, but Jagger G is showing off. He knows that maze inside and out. Well done.
Indeed, indeed. Nicely done. Hey, say hi to Bob. And there's number 7. I got the ice armos again. Even with the ice silver arrows, makes this an absolute joke of a fight.
The ice physics, on the other hand, are never fun.
No. All right, number 8. Map number 9. Compass number 10. Mickey!
That was the most amazing room. I can't believe it.
Jagger, do you sure you want to go up without a key?
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no, 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 no! Oh god, not again! Not again!
Oh no. Now, it's not all hope is lost. There are 2 chests up there that can have an extra key for him.
He only
3
needs
chests up
1
there.
key. Yeah, he's got 3 chests along the way that have a key, that have potential for a key. He only needs 1 because one of the mini Helmastars will drop a key when you kill it. So if he can get another key from one of those 3 chests along the way, he's fine. But he is taking a big gamble doing this. Because if he doesn't get a key out of those 3 chests, he's gonna have to go all the way back down, get a key from, dig out the left side to find that key, and then come all the way back up, going through all of this again.
Wait, has he always had vanilla heartbeats on?
I haven't been paying attention, to be quite frank.
I just noticed it. Either that was the first time he was at low health this seed, or I just did not notice that he had vanilla heartbeats on, which is unusual. Almost everybody goes for half speed, unless they're crazy and they go double speed. But we're into the gauntlet. 5 rooms of increasing difficulty of mobs that just do not want to move the way that you want them to move. Add some spikes and Beamos into the mix. This was not an all dungeons or a ped seed, it was just a rude seed.
Yeah, and to give you an idea of how crazy this seed was, we've now gotten to 18th place. And we currently still have, let me see, 3 runners if left remaining.
Alright, through the gauntlet into the most satisfying room in the game. And then a quick bridge into the second most satisfying room in the game.
Absolutely. Gotta love those style robes.
Yeah, this was oops, all items. Well, maybe we'll find that can of burn at the top of Ganon's tower. While Yagerji is looking for his key. That is under the pot. Alright, he can get one key off the mini Helma that's intended for this door. But he definitely needs one more small key.
And, oh, that's not good. That is not good.
Alright.
He's now got a 50-50 shot of either getting through or going all the way back down. It's down to this final chest. If it's not here, it's he's going back. Is he going back? He's going back!
Yeah.
He just realized he's got to go back.
Oh no. Oh. Yeah. We're so sorry. After everything the seed has put you through.
Oh, he's got to go back down. He's got no choice. He's got to mirror back. He's trying to figure out if there's anything else he can do, but yep, there you go.
Okay, now doing what he... That was, you know, what would have happened if you don't go left and pick up the small key under this pot. Using our time rewind powers.
Wish we had that right about now. This is why you always make sure you have at least one small key before you go up, because you do not want this to happen.
Gauntlet's so nice, we're gonna do it twice.
I don't remember the last time I've seen a seed this long that wasn't a key sanity run. Or an Randomizer or entrance rando. A standard mode seed, one that has so many advantages, and yet here we are 2 hours and 36 minutes in, and we're still going!
It is true that the seed was very educational in a way. It taught your runners that, you know what, sometimes sequence breaks, like fake flippering to hobo, pay off. And sometimes sequence breaks, like doing the Ice Palace Bob Jump, don't pay off. One of the runners, Ravis10 in chat, saying that this seed was trash. You want to suffer? Here you go.
Oh, Ravis. You may have been our first, as our first place winner, which, by the way, congratulations on that. If you had seen what we've had to witness from these two runners tonight, you'd understand how right you are about that. Oh my God.
So even if you do the fake flipper and get your Titan's mitts early, and then decide, you know what, I'm not going to go into Thieves Town, I'm just going to do the Smith's Chain and get your Fire Rod right away, and say, yeah, let's just go right to the back of Skull Woods, get your hammer. What would make you want to go into Ice Palace? Nothing. Who would ever want to go into Ice Palace with just a hammer, no hookshot, no Samaria? And then, you don't skip your basement of Pendant Hera. But that's Rando for you. Sometimes Rando gods giveth, sometimes they taketh away. And I guess if you steal the gods' ambrosia, this is how they repay you.
Much like the dice gods of most tabletop games, the Rando gods show no mercy. Amen.
Yeah, huge shoutouts to Jagger G for going through all of this. Especially reclimbing the gauntlet.
Yeah, I personally would have probably just quit after that. I would have just been like, okay, I'm done. I'm done. I'm tapped.
I solved the puzzle. I know where the items are. I don't need to finish this. Ganon can rule Hyrule. Okay, on to Moldorm 2.
This should be a very easy Moldarm fight. He's got Butter Sword. And he
You
got
did it!
Trollor!
Shades! How could you said it? That was you. That was you this time. I didn't say
I
it.
own that one. I fully own that one. God dang it. My God. How? No! No! Dang it.
Yes, it was a tactical bounce to go and get that anti-fairy.
And is he gonna, no. Trolling us at the inevitable conclusion, chat.
Well, he knew he wasn't going to get the 216 because he didn't have to clear out the whole basement.
If any of our finished runners are in the chat, Ravis and others, did anyone check that inevitable conclusion, Chess? What was it?
I'm thinking probably, I don't know, an arrow pack. Maybe Burna if we were really lucky.
Also, someone in chat just basically jinxed it even further, saying, I wouldn't be surprised if Jagger falls off the bridge after Ganon now. We're holding you for that. If that happens, that's your fault.
Oh no, Agatu is off sync now for Jagger G. Awful patterns. There we go. Agatu is down.
And now it's time for the big pig.
Gold sword, silver arrows. Should
and
be
red
quick.
nail. Yeah, this will be pretty easy. Of course, we've said that, and look what's happened so far, so maybe it won't be. I don't know.
Into the Ganon hole, what words of wisdom do we get? Good stuff, Ganon. You listened to that on the vinyl, I imagine? Going for some nice cape strats, getting in those hits on Ganon.
He's got half magic. Now's a good time to use it. And he's on to phase 3. He's got definitely enough magic. I wouldn't be surprised if he didn't even bother with Torch Claw.
On the other hand, you know what? That's a nice way to make sure that this heck of a seed finishes fast. At least Ganon is being quite nice with the warps.
Oh,
Yep.
he is going for Torch Glitch.
Got the torch glitch with the fire rod. A double,
And
a
down
single,
goes-
a single. Yeah, I was gonna ask if you saw what I saw.
Yeah, I just said, even though Jagger just finished, in the SRL chat, Jagger G just forfeited from the race. You know,
I think that might be why he decided to forfeit. But we'll see if we can get him in here for a comment.
I'm just gonna say it. I normally say this for really good seeds, but I'm gonna say here, what the heck is going on with this seed?
Oh my goodness. That comment really the bow so much wasn't trolly, but the sequence leading up to the bow was a bit hard to handle.
Yeah, the bow itself was nice. It was everything else that was garbage.
Alright, we're gonna get Jagger G in there in just a minute.
Oh, God. Ow. Just, ow. There we go. Let's bring him in here. And we have Jagger G joining us here in the call. Jagger GG, I think.
GG, well played. Thank you for sticking out that seed.
Oh, give him a minute, folks. I think we're having some technical difficulties here with his mic.
Seed killed his mic.
I wouldn't be
seed-
surprised at this point.
This seed killed Mike. I think Discord has decided to do that thing where all of a sudden it resets all of your mic settings.
Would not be surprised. Also, thank you in chat for the compliments. I'm glad we could make this scene even more entertaining than it already was.
It really was a heck of a seed, and yeah, if you want to play this seed yourself, reach out to some of these runners who played it. I am sure that they would be happy to share it with you.
Yeah, thanks, but no thanks. I think I'd like to keep what little hair I have left on my head.
Jagger G is in here. We're just having a little bit of tech issues with mics. But yeah, in the meantime, I'll go and check to see what's coming up on the speed gaming schedule. I think that we're just about wrapped up for tonight in terms of everything. But tomorrow, early morning at 7 o'clock a.m. Eastern, we are going to continue our Untitled Goose Game 80% tournament. Got a bunch of those on the schedule, as well as, of course, both our 2 p.m. and 9 p.m. daily races. And let's see, Jagger G, can you hear us? Can we hear you?
Does not sound like it.
Oh, hello! GG and well played. We see your push to talk on.
No, we cannot hear you.
Of everything else to go wrong, why not?
Might as well just complete the set. Oh my god.
We really would love to hear your thoughts on this seed. We could just imagine that this is a string of colorful language.
You know, I would not be surprised in the slightest. What's even funnier is I have a soundboard that I usually use for my own streams. I can already imagine what button I'd be pressing to convey his thoughts, but I won't play it here. I'd get in trouble if I did, even, aside from just using a sound clip.
Yeah, tomorrow at 2 p.m. we will have an Randomizer race. And at 9 p.m. there will be a spoiler race for the Link to the Past daily races. So if you're interested in those, they will be broadcast on a speed gaming channel yet to be determined. And if you want to play in them, join the main Link to the Past Discord. There's instructions about how to get set up for SRL and get notifications about all the future races. Other things going on tomorrow will be the Super Mario All-Stars race, Super Mario 3 Randomizer, and Super Mario Sunshine, as well as other tournaments going on is Kirby and the Amazing Mirror, Azure Dreams. And coming up soon, starting next week, is going to be the Link to the Past League, starting up 64 teams.
That is going to be nuts.
64 races every week, so we'll try to get as many of them rebroadcast as we can, either here on the Link to the Past League randomizer channels.
And I get the feeling either Jagger G is either restarting or he is done. He's just given up, which I don't blame the man.
It's been a long night,
To say the least. Oh, Lord.
but thank you all so much for watching and hanging in there. Be sure to follow Speed Gaming 2 through 6, and make sure to follow both of our runners, Professor Render and Jagger G. They stuck it out through this awful, awful seed. Big thanks to our tracker, Dark Diplomat, hitting the buttons behind the scenes.
Absolutely. And of course, myself and my co-commentator, Mind of Me, it has been a blast working with you today.
Absolutely. You know what? The seed might have, kicked everybody 6 ways from Sunday, but it's always fun to talk rando.
Absolutely. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys had a fun time. On behalf of everyone here at the Speed Gaming family, my name is The Shades, and we will see you guys next time. Rock on!